What's up, guys? This is Red Eye Stardust Dragon. I said Photon again because I am an idiot. But anyways, as you, for some longer subscribers to videos, you know that I have made a Kozmo Loken deck profile, but because of length, I decided to stop playing it and find a build that was more focused on the pure Cosmos. So this is what I have so far. I have gotten myself a Strawman, but I still haven't got all the cards necessary, and I don't think I'm playing Solemn or anything. So feel free to side out some of the cards, because most of the staple stuff like Dark Hole and my Solemns would be in the side deck, because I find it really hard to keep it at a consistent 40, because personally I love playing at a consistent 40 card deck. And if it goes over 40, I just don't feel it's consistent anymore, and I rebuild the deck, and this is what I have right now. So I'm gonna go straight to the deck profile. So first of all, I have one tin can here, but I would recommend you having played two. So I'm just gonna sub in Store Troopers, because he is quite good, because he allows you access into rank 3 engine, but more on him later. Tin can. He basically turbos through your deck really quickly, and you can also set up stuff for your Cosmo Store Troopers to go into Breaksword or whatever. Or you can send other stuff to the graveyard, which you can revive with your Call of the Hunted and Oasis of the Dragon Souls. So it's a pretty good card to turbo. And then you have two Strawman. Two Strawman, because I don't have another Strawman yet. I use him. I'm allowed to pay 500 life points, return something to hand, which is quite powerful. You don't want to open up with this, personally, unless you've got something like a Fire King combo, which I currently have my side deck, because I don't like the Fire King combo as much as some other Cosmo players, because if you can't get rid of your if you don't swap out your Fire King quickly enough, it can be used against you in your opponent's turn. And that's just really, really... I just don't like playing around with that. Because especially if you go into stuff like Infinity, you're going to have to waste up your Infinities overlay unit in order to protect your monsters. But so if you can't sub out your Fire King Island for a Cosmo Town quick enough, it's not worth playing the thing. But in my build, I just don't feel this fast enough. I play one Store Troopers because he gives you a lot of access into a rank 3 engine and can revive your Cosmos that got sent to the graveyard, the psychic ones anyway. Two Farm Heroes, because he's your essential searcher. He's your searcher, and she is your searcher, and it's probably the quite big, but it's not. Allows you access in the rank 3 engine, and it's a searcher, and it's quite good generically. I play one Cosmo Wicked Witch, because being indestructible can save you games sometimes, especially when one of your big ships dies. You can special summon it in defense mode and then pay poison to keep it alive for the rest of the turn. In your next turn, you can start extending to combos, which can win you a game, and it certainly has got me out of pinch many times. And then, because it's no longer Soken, the only level 5 I play is the free copy of Slip Rider, because he can destroy stuff. He's back row removal, because Twin Twister is kind of a negotiable card for this deck, especially if you run Card of Demise, which is in my side deck more so in my main deck. I have a substitute for it, which I find much better than Card of Demise, because if you draw into 3 ships without a call, then you're fucked. And then for the big ships, I have one Forerunner, because life points, and in this format, it's pretty much an undestroyable battle. Dark Destroyer, because he's at 1, and Dark Eclipser, because he's a bigger beat stick than Forerunner. The main point is to get them out, or send them to graveyard for tin can, and then revive them through Call of the Hunted or something. And that's it for my Cosmo engine. If I were running these other engines, I would probably extend more of my traps and spells, but unfortunately I like my other hand traps or engines. Of course, we're playing the Speed Droid engine with the taking Tomboy, because decks can win you games. And for hand traps, I'm playing 2 Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I'm not playing Maxi because this deck can turbo free itself quite fastly, providing you open up a pretty good hand. It's just I don't think it's reliable. Good relying on Maxi, so I'm playing Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit instead. And it's Psychic, and I'm using some synchros, so you can combo with your emergency teleport. And we're playing 2 Terraforming because getting through to your Kozmo Town is pretty important, so of course we're playing 3 copies of Kozmo Town. So if this is destroyed, you can also Surge, and you can if you break with too much Kozmo monsters, you can always shuffle them back in and hope for the best. And you get to recycle your banished Kozmo monsters, which is even better. So, if you don't have this free, you better put up free 1 emergency teleport because it's really important for the deck. And then for my substitute for Card of the Mice is Pot of Duality. It doesn't let you special summon, but you can still normal summon after using this. And you don't have to discard at the end. Because if you discard, and they're all big ships, then you're fucked. And then I'm playing MST. And negotiating on whether to use Twin Twisters or MST or Cosmic Cyclone. Maybe Cosmic Cyclone. Not too sure on that, but I think maybe Twin Twisters or Cosmic Cyclone, because you kind of want to blow up your Cosmo. You can blow up your Kozmo Town in order to get a search off it, into some of your important big ships or something. But for now, I'm just playing the regular MST. Then for traps, because I don't have a Cosmojo, second Cosmojo, yeah, I'm playing 1 Cosmojo and 2 Lost Wind, because Lost Wind can stall for turns, where Cosmojo is non-targeting removal. If I had a second Cosmojo, I would be playing Lost Wind at 1 and 2 Cosmojo. Because I don't have a second one yet, I'm playing this ratio. And then you want your revival traps. I play 2 Cop the Haunted and 2 Oasis of Dragon Souls, because I kind of want a mixture between the attack position and defense position. I think you would be better off playing Cop the Haunted, but I just prefer the ratios this way. It personally satisfies me. I don't know why, but it does. And then for the last thing, I am playing 2 Mirror Force because it's pretty viable in today's format, especially with when you're going first, because that one, they can expand all their resources and they can't protect their stuff. So if you break really badly but you still have Mirror Force, this can save you games, which it has when I played against DDs. Because as you know, they can turbo through their deck really quickly, but they don't have protection. So assuming that you can get Mirror Force set down, you can easily beat them that way. In my side deck, I would recommend Regeki, Dark Holes, Card of the Demise, the Fire King combo, even if you like it, Soul Morning, Soul Charge possibly, and any other Cosmo monsters that you might want to play instead of the Speed Droid engine. And then that's basically it. So because I'm playing Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is a tuner, for my synchros I have Ally of Justice Cassastor, because beating over something without if you can't beat over something, you could sort of rely on him. I'm gonna sub him out when I get better synchro, when I think of a better synchro, but currently I don't have any. And your Pixie Dragon, because you need those life points and it's good for going first. And Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, in case you want to ever ODK your opponent, because that's effect that can burn and get rid of your opponent's resources is pretty good. For rank 2s, I have number 45 from Logos of Demolition. But if you have Sky Cavalry, I totally recommend it over this, but because I don't, because it is quite a viable card in some other decks, and I will try my best to get it, but for now I'm playing Crumbles Logos, because it's a decent card, because you can negate effects. For the rank 3 engine, I have Grampos, because spell and trap removal, Totem Bird, because you can use him along with your Speed Droids, and the Phantom Knights of Breaksword, because destroying your ships You can use this to destroy your ships and special summon Strawman and then revive that ship, which can be pretty viable. And then if you're going for OTK, and then on the next turn you can always bring and then your ship obviously gets destroyed, and you can special summon another ship, saying if you went into Dark Destroyer, you can always get two. You get one destruction off it, and then when it gets destroyed, you can always summon your Forerunner, which is still quite a big beast stick. For the other fact finds, I'm playing 1 Volcaron Source and 2 Constera Pleiades, because it has a Kieran-like effect. Kieran-like effect, except you don't have to expand on one of your monsters. And since Kieran was a good card, obviously Pleiades is a really good card, and Volcaronosaurus, if you're going to burn for game, so it's basically like a Gaga Samurai for this deck. And then obviously I'm playing 2 Cyber Dragon Nova, and if it gets solved, that's why I'm using Baroid, a 4K beat stick, which is very viable. It's 2 attacks, and I think, and if you're playing a mirror match, they can't trigger their effect. Second attack cannot attack directly, unfortunately, but if you read it correctly, if it destroys an opponent monster, it's pretty viable. Because if your Cyber Dragon Nova gets negated to go into your Infinity, which you just slapped on top, you can always bring out this card. That's why I play Nova at 2, in case one's negated. I can always bring out Barbaroid, and then he can beat over stuff for 1,000 and for whatever damage you're inflicting with that 4K body, and obviously burn your opponent for 1,000. That was it for my Kozmo deck profile, getting ready for the link format. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up. Recently I'm taking in suggestions from people because I love what I'm hearing from you guys. That I forget the name of the one person, but you corrected me on using Big Eye for Allies Rebellion, so I'm gonna give a shout out to you if you're watching this video. And any other suggestions, please leave them down in the comments below. This is Red Eye Starter. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe for more in the future. This is Red Eye Stardust Dragon, out.